Hi, it's time for the back to school version of Best Friends. Eli here is saying that he wants you to be very careful as you're going to school. Be sure to watch the lights and do everything that the crossing guards tell you to do, and be very safe. Eli doesn't get to go to school, but he would like to. He would particularly like to if they had birds at school, because Eli thinks that birds are very cool. And we happen to have a couple of those behind us. These are two little zebra finches. Eli was just helping the other day and knocked their cage off. So one of them has an eye owie that we're having to treat with spray antibiotic. However, both of these lovely little things need a home that has either no cat or a cat that doesn't have the kind of bird interest that Eli has. I have cats in my household, and I have a bird, but my bird really is as big as Eli, and so it's not so much of a problem. But you do have to be kind of careful about that sort of thing. Eli is leaving us now. Bye, Eli. This is another bird that we have available for adoption. I think we have had Mr. Dove for 3 or 4 months. He came in kind of bald and very thin. And all of his feathers have grown back. In fact, he's been through one molt. And he is looking very good at this point. He isn't a particularly, he's not a particularly social bird in the way that the citizens are, but he's a nice guy, and he has a lovely song. Bird call or dove call is very soothing and soft. And of course, he's another of Eli's favorites, so we have to watch very carefully to make sure that he doesn't end up as squab or whatever it is that doves become when they are edible. He's not edible at all. But see what a graceful creature he is? He's really lovely. And all of the feathers except for a tiny little patch have grown back now. Sometimes he likes to take baths in his water dish. It's kind of funny because when I set out a water dish that's quite large and he can get in and bathe in it, he won't do it. But he is also available for adoption. This little fellow came to us with a really awful eye infection, and his eye had to be removed. He's about 3.5 months old at this point. Just a very playful, happy kitten, and probably as much of a hunter as Eli is. So if you want something to keep you thoroughly entertained, this would be a good choice. The Siamese snowshoe markings, see, and short-haired. Missing an eye may interfere with his depth perception a little bit, but it doesn't slow him down one iota. Right? Yeah, I know. If you just look at him, he purrs. It's a great kitten. This hunk of fun is Gus. Gus, I think, is a very interesting cat. He came from South County, but you'll notice how he has so much space between his eyes, and his the way the bone structure in his head is molded. It's different than most of the cats you see around here. He doesn't have that much bridge to his nose. And this is a structure that we see frequently in European or Eastern European cats. So it makes me wonder if Gus doesn't have a much more interesting story than we're hearing. He looks like a medium-haired British Shorthair. So I'm wondering if maybe Gus would have a great deal of interesting information for whoever adopts him once he is ready to spill the beans. Anyway, Gus is, wherever he came from, an incredibly beautiful cat. He's current on his shots, he's neutered, and he is very interested in the rat, who is letting us know that he's present at the end of the table there. Anyway, Gus, don't leave us, Gus. I really need you to stay here, chunky guy. He's a beautiful color and he has a great personality, loves human interaction, and I think any family that got Gus would be very fortunate. That's what I think. You agree? I bet you do. Does anybody out there subscribe to Time magazine? If you do, then you will know that this year, or this month, Time has run a rather long article in the appropriateness of adopting a cat or dog that is older and perhaps challenged in some way, or not quite as attractive as the competing animals, and what that does for you and what that does for the animal. Well, this is a prime example. This is a magnificent cat. He doesn't look like it on the outside, and I know that. Probably he knows it too. This kitty is the victim of a house fire, and he actually woke the family so that they could leave. As we understand it, and I may be completely wrong, but as we were told by the neighbors, for his bravery, he was abandoned, and we ended up with him. His eye was so badly damaged at that point when we got him that we had to have it removed, because although our veterinarian tried very hard to save it, it was causing the cat more pain and possibility of illness than was necessary, because he probably wouldn't have been sighted in that eye again anyway. So we call him, appropriately enough, Smokage. Yes. And he is an incredible cat on the inside. And he's kind of an incredible cat on the outside, actually. And if you give him just a little bit more time, I mean, we just took stitches out this week, for the fur to grow back, I think he will be an outstandingly beautiful cat and very distinctive. I love this cat. This is a little 4-month-old, medium-haired, brown tabby, bicolor kitten. We call her Moth. Look at her face and see if you can figure out why. She has a funny little color right on her chin that looks like the tip of a moth wing sticking out of her mouth. Our cat volunteer was actually cleaning her mouth trying to get it off, but it's just the way the fur is. She's a wonderful kitten and is purring up a storm even as I'm holding her. So beautiful. Anyway, she is one of the kittens, just slightly older kitten. 4 months is not old as kittens go. Still great for introducing to a household with cats that are slightly older. And a perfectly adaptable age if you have a cat-friendly dog in the household to try and introduce a second pet and see how they get along. And those are the reasons, the most valid reasons that people have for needing to adopt a younger cat, is so that it will adapt to other animals in the household. These two have been with us for about 2 months. They came again from South County. They were at large and they came in together. This one, they're about 6 months old, and they were both quite ill when we got them, so it's taken a while for them to recover. This one has a very mellow, laid-back personality. It's a little male. This one is a troublemaker. Yeah, she will find the mischief, and then this one kind of follows. It would be great if they could be placed together, simply because they've been together, obviously, for a very long time. And they're just, while they don't rely totally on each other, they enjoy the companionship. So if you were thinking about getting 2 cats, and there's always a persistent concern about she's going for the rat. I told you, she will find trouble. There's always a persistent concern about whether one cat will get along with another one. And this is really a great pair to start with, because you have male and female, and you have 2 cats that are temperamentally suited to each other already. So for them to get used to a new environment like your home wouldn't be that difficult. This is a kitty that came to us and accepted a foster litter. So she's raised probably 2 litters, is now spayed. She is one of those cats that is particularly wonderful if you have children. Some cats are frightened by children and the intrusiveness of children sticking their heads into the condos because they have to crawl up a ladder to do that. And this is one cat that will come forward to the front of the cage and actually headbutt the children. And people who don't know about cats don't know what that means, but what it means is that she is a particularly friendly, welcoming, outgoing cat. And that's what we look for in households with children, particularly young children, because she is, she has that kind of friendly personality that will tolerate them being children, which is, you know, what you want in a cat. You don't want a cat that goes and hides under the bed the first time your little one comes to pet it. You want somebody that will go out and meet it and say, hey, I like you. Yes, she's very pretty. Yes, she is. Hey. See, she doesn't want my hand to go away for very long. She also has some really interesting markings. That one toe that's black on her white feet, and her very neat little white feet. Yes. If you have a mouse problem in your house, this is the cat you want. I think she would take care of it for you. And it would be a messy problem that you never have to worry about. She is probably about a year and a half old. When she came to us, she had terrible fleas and ear mites and ear infection and all kinds of icky stuff going on, and now she is all clear and she is beautiful, and she has an outstanding kitty cat personality, and she is a perfect cat for almost any household. She probably isn't as crazy about little kids as the black cat I just showed you, but she has such a strong drive for playing. I think that she would get along with any family. She really is a lovely cat. I think she has kind of a funny little face. It's sort of plain, and she has slightly buggy eyes. And you would think that that would go together to be not a particularly attractive cat, but it all goes together quite well, and she is. And besides, her personality is so lively that it would be hard to say that she was anything but cute. Yes, she's a cute girl. So for a back-to-school time of year, it's still quite warm and summer-like. And I hope you will stay with us and join us in our dog get-acquainted area for a little more fun with animals. This is, no, I guess I better start over, huh? Okay. Welcome to the dog portion of our program, and thanks for coming with us. This is a 5-month-old puppy. It's a little male. He isn't neutered yet, but of course he will be. And he is just an exceptional puppy. He's very bright, and you would expect that because I am fairly sure he's about half Border Collie. There's maybe some other kind of herding breed in there, but Border Collie is predominant. Yeah, and maybe something else. We're not quite sure what else. The head, the way he's structured, the intelligence and the responsiveness is very Border Collie. He's going to be a dream to train. He's great with food. If you have an active family, and you want to take the time with this guy, training done now will pay you back throughout this dog's very long life. This is a terrific puppy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think that any family that finds this dog and is willing to invest in him is going to be the richer for it, because this is a great dog. But like many of the herding breeds, they're only as wonderful as the work you put into them, because left to their own devices, they are too smart not to be bored and not to invent games and occupations that suit them, which doesn't always suit you or the neighbors. Great little dog. Yeah, you want to go see Heather now? You definitely want to fence Gerard with this one, incidentally. Not so much that they would be unfriendly outside the fence, but they would take off because anything that's moving is interesting. This is one of our mystery dogs. He looks like he ought to be something purebred, but we don't know exactly what. Or he might be kind of one of the designer breeds with half of him being Lhasa and half being something else. Or maybe one of the Basset things that they're crossbreeding to make some rather strange designer dogs. He has beautiful eyelashes, and he has a very sunny disposition, and he has a lot of hair, which is very cuddly. And isn't he cute? My goodness, he's cute. You can't really look at this dog and not smile. I just can't imagine that. But you know, very personable little guy. He's 8 months old. He isn't neutered yet, of course, but he would be, clearly, as soon as he's adopted. or maybe before, depending on what opportunities come our way. But he is, I think, just, you may not want him around really little kids unless you try introducing them first. I would say that about any dog, but this one in particular, we don't know his background. And it isn't so much because I think he might be iffy with kids, it's just that he is so darn cute. He's the kind of dog that kids would approach as if he were a stuffed toy, and you want to make really sure that he's going to be fine with that before it happens. So, gosh, I mean, he looks like one of those dogs that teenagers flop on their bed, and he's just adorable. But he's here, and he needs a good, responsible home, and one who is going to pay attention to his grooming needs, because he has a few of those. He's going to have to be groomed pretty regularly. Just looking at him, we can tell his face has been clipped and his coat's been managed that way. Otherwise, he's going to look like a rather raggedy dust mop. He is an adorable little guy. Yes, he is. I know. Yes, I like you too. I do. Yes, I do. How could anyone not? This is Hank. Hank is a very popular name for hounds. You could call him Henry if you'd rather. Hank's probably a red tick of some sort. There are some things about hounds that people probably should know before adopting them, and one of them is they are nose-driven. That means they don't pay any attention to boundaries unless they're solid enough that they can run into them. And the other one is that they don't exactly bark, but the sound they do make, which is called baying or belling, can go a very long way. And so you have to have fairly tolerant neighbors, or you have to have some provision for keeping old Hank interested in staying inside. Hank is a very strong dog, and obviously he's larger. He's a medium-sized dog, but still he's not one that I would grab the leash on the other end casually without expecting a tug or two. He is a very nice dog in terms of having a sunny disposition. I would not trust Hank around cats or other small animals without trying him first, and even then I would be pretty leery of leaving him alone with them. If you have a very active family, he might be a terrific dog for you. I have no idea whether Hank is very good at hunting. Suspect not, but or he wouldn't be here. But that's something to consider. Not all hounds do hunt, and you'd need to be aware of that. Some of the hounds are so nose-driven that it's hard to keep their attention, and some of them aren't. Anyway, Hank is a good guy, and for some reason, I think of him as a family dog, but I think he'd be a great dog for just any individual too, as long as they understand hounds. Their hounds are just kind of different. Right, Hank? Yes. But nice. This is Bella. Bella was one of our dogs that went to the Thurston County Fair with our groom squad kids from 4-H. She is a wonderful dog. She is a bully breed, clearly, and she is going to have a fenced yard. Bella, hey, could I persuade you to look at me? She will, yes, she will. Bella has a wonderful, calm personality. She does not do well with cats. She does very well with adult humans. She does probably quite well with very young humans, and we know she does well with 4-H age kids. She is a beautiful dog. She is easy care. She has a very short coat that is in great condition, and she's very affectionate, as you can see. Now, isn't that a ferocious pit bull? This is the kind of dog that could belong to anyone as a house dog, and they would feel safe in their house, because she would let you know if anybody were coming, and if anyone meant you harm. I feel fairly sure that this dog, once bonded with you, would do her best to take care of you. But she is a terrier, and there are all those things that go with being a terrier. And one of them is that you don't want to put her in a position where she would have to take out small animals, because she would feel that she had to do that. That's just the way they are. It's not viciousness involved there, it's prey drive. And they have a healthy capacity for it. It's one of the things that makes them wonderful. I think this dog would be a particularly terrific candidate for nose work, which is one of the more popular new training classes for dogs. I think she would really enjoy it, and I think it'd be a great bonding tool for a new owner and a dog. We save the best to last. This is Emma. Yes. Emma is Aussie and possibly German Shepherd. At least that's what we understand. And she is an extraordinary dog. She is very good with children, and she is very easy care, a very intelligent dog. She is not good with cats, and she is probably, in my opinion, one of the best ones that we've showed you today. Come on, come on. She has no tail, so everything on your coffee table is safe, and she would make a remarkably great indoor dog, I think. She will bond with her family very successfully, and if you just give her half a chance, I think she'll probably be the best dog you ever have. Anyway, she's a great girl. I know. Yes. Her family is military and had to transfer, and they were unable to take Emma with them. And that's why she's with us. But whoever ends up with her is going to be a very fortunate family indeed. And when I say family, this dog will be perfectly adaptable in a single household, as in a group with children. I think she would probably do well in an apartment, and she would do well in a home. So she's just a super dog. Anyway, we will end with Emma, and thank you very much for joining us. If you have the opportunity to stop by the shelter, we're at 3120 Martin Way, and we're always happy to see you. We are closed on Sunday and Monday, but the rest of the week we open at 9:30, and we're around until 5:30 in the evening, except for Saturdays, and then we're around until 4. So stop by, say hi, and enjoy petting the animals.